Thank you everyone for showing up today and taking part of our presentation today. Today, the topic or the program is Strategic Improvement Assistance Program. But before I get into the details on the program, I thought it would be a good idea to kind of give you a little idea of who we are and what we do. So Innovation PEI is a Crown Corp. We are under the Ministry of Economic Development, Innovation and Trade. We are the lead economic development agency for the province, and we are focused on accelerating economic development by investing in people, investing in innovation and infrastructure. We have several teams that work here at Innovation PEI. There are 4 teams altogether. I work with the Business Development and Innovation team. The Business Development and Innovation team is responsible for the coordination and delivery of information, assistance, and support programs to businesses on PEI. We support various stages of the business, from startup, expansion, trade development, and diversification. Our group typically works with businesses that are located on PEI, and we work with companies that are producing products and services here in PEI and exporting, as well as we have a suite of small business programs that support our standard PEI businesses that provide services within Prince Edward Island. Our second team at Innovation PEI is the Cultural Arts and Cultural Development team. The Cultural Development team works together with cultural organizations and the creative industry associations to provide initiatives that promote and encourage professionalization, organizational capacity, and the ability to expand services, access to training, and artistic experimentation. They work with a lot of the film groups, the arts and culture, various groups within PEI, as it's an important part of our economy and our well-being. The Business Attraction Division is another team here at Innovation PEI. They work primarily with growing the strategic sectors on PEI, as well as support the growth of local companies. They primarily work with companies that are looking to expand their operations from other provinces or other countries and set up and establish businesses here on PEI that will contribute to the PEI economy. The last team we have here at Innovation PEI is the Global Trade Services team. They work closely with different businesses here on Prince Edward Island. They work to help these companies find new export markets. They work with companies to help them attend various trade shows. They help them with looking to market intelligence. The main thing is that they're looking to find ways that companies can increase their export efforts and sell more stuff off island. As a provincial organization, export to Innovation PEI means exporting outside of PEI, not necessarily outside of Canada. So what we do as a group, our goal is to build a stronger PEI by helping businesses create sustainable employment opportunities. We do that by offering supports and services to promote entrepreneurship, business development, business improvement and expansion, investment, job creation, research and innovation, trade and export, as well as business attraction. So today we're talking about the Strategic Improvement Assistance Program. So the Strategic Improvement Assistance Program supports PEI businesses that are looking to undertake strategic activities to become more productive, more profitable and competitive. The program supports the costs of hiring outside professional expertise that is required for projects relating to improving operational efficiencies, internal planning or processes, as well as quality assurance. In order to be eligible for this program, the business must be located on Prince Edward Island. It must be registered to conduct business on PEI, as well as actively operating on PEI. It must manufacture, process, or develop goods or services primarily for export. It must be a company that is exporting products outside of PEI, products or services. It must also operate within one of these strategic sectors, which includes the bioscience sector, aerospace and defense, advanced manufacturing and processing, renewable energy and clean technology, information and communications technology, creative and cultural industries, and we will also consider first of its kind exportable goods or services in other sectors. Who is ineligible for our programming? Companies that are currently in default with a debt obligation and are listed in the province's central default registry are ineligible for funding. New projects or applications from clients will not be considered until any debt obligations that are currently in default with the province have been resolved in full. What activities and costs are supported? Sorry for the very wordy slide, but there are a lot of various activities that are eligible for this program. But primarily the costs that are eligible are the costs associated with assessment, with planning, with designing, and implementation of projects related to the operational efficiencies, internal planning and processes, or quality assurance projects we had talked about earlier. Eligible costs are primarily the cost to engage outside expertise. So those are third-party costs to the company. Some examples of some eligible activities, and there may be other activities, I mean, we can consider that, are strategies to improve productivity, quality, food safety, or environmental management. Maybe the company's going to look at a plan to integrate effective tools for communication, transactions, and operations and management. So it might be some IT upgrades or communications software. You may be looking at some new HR, human resource strategies, or you may be looking at maybe some lean manufacturing, workflow studies, production planning. Maybe the company is looking to assess and develop some strategies to incorporate renewable or clean energy, or find ways to reduce energy use. Or maybe the client is looking for opportunities to get some intellectual property advice. You know, should I look at a patent here or copyrights here? This program is not necessarily for the cost of actually applying for the patent, but more so towards the advice around developing and, you know, considerations of getting a patent or some other intellectual property. The level of assistance that is available. So this program will provide support, a non-repayable contribution of up to 40% of eligible costs to a maximum of $20,000 in assistance. So that would be like 40% of up to $50,000 in project costs. The purchase of equipment is not an eligible cost under this program. So if equipment was part of the overall project, it would not be considered in the 40%, but it may be considered through some of our other innovation PEI programs, such as maybe the capital assistance program. The combined project funding from all non-repayable government sources cannot exceed 75% of total costs. And just a short example, we have a company that is looking to hire a consultant to help develop a new food safety plan. The company will hire Food Safety Co. to prepare a food safety plan and procedures manual. So the quote from the consultant was $40,000. Under this program, we may be able to provide support equal to $40,000 at 40% would be a $16,000 non-repayable contribution from Innovation PEI. How do I apply? So there's various ways, or a couple of ways that you can actually apply. It is always suggested when you're looking at a project, such as the ones that we had described before, that it would be a good idea to talk to one of the business development officers that we have in staff. We have business development officers located in various locations across the province, Montague and Surrey, Charlottetown, Summerside, and Alberton. So when you are considering a project, it's always a great idea to pick up the phone and talk to your local business development officer to see to get some advice on how to fill in the application, or get some advice on what project, if the project may or may not be eligible. So once you are then ready to apply, you can apply either online, or there is a printable application available online, or we could send it to you. You could request it from the BDO. They could send you a copy. You can also send an application by mail or by fax. An important thing to remember is that an application must be submitted to Innovation PEI before the project begins. We typically do not go back in time on projects. So we would like to see the application. We would like to have some time to review that application and get back to you and let you know that whether or not the project is or is not eligible before you start the project. On that note, I do have an example application that is essentially the nuts and bolts of the program. So I'm just going to go through an example application, and hopefully that kind of clears up a few more questions. Okay, so this application, and I hope that you can see my screen. I'm actually just going to show you where this application is. And Madeline, you can see my screen?
Yep, looks great.
Great, thank you. So when Innovation PEI, we have our website here, innovationpei.com. When you are on our website, you can click on Business Supports, and it'll take you to a list of all our programs. That's probably hard to see, but we have quite a few programs that are there available. So when you click on one of those programs, it'll actually take you to the program description itself. And for this program, the Strategic Improvement Program, this is the actual detail on that program. You can apply a couple of ways. You can click on the business development application link over here. When you do that, it'll bring up a PDF that you can save onto your computer and fill it in at your leisure. You can fill in part of it today, maybe come back and fill in some more tomorrow, but if you save it on your laptop, then you'll have it there available. Once you have that completed and then the other supporting documents with it, then you can email that to Innovation PEI. And as I scroll down here to the bottom of the page, you can also submit that application online. So we actually have a fillable online application where you can put the answer the questions through the online application, and then click submit when you were done, and then you'll get verification that that application has been submitted. Moving on to the application. I have created a company here. So the company's name is called Muscle Extracts Inc. So the first section here, we're just asking for identification. So we need that information to make sure that our contact information is up to date, that your address is up to date, phone number, contact email, because we communicate a lot through email or by phone. So we need to make sure that that information is up to date. So we ask for the address, phone number, email address. We ask what location you're located in, and the reason that we ask for that is because we do want to match you up with one of the business development officers that are located in the different regions. Business name is called Muscle Extracts, and we like to see the website. If you have a website, we like to know where that is so we can take a look and find out a little bit more about your business from there. Some more business information that we ask for your CRA business number. It's usually a 9-digit number. Your HST number is usually the 9-digit number followed by RT0001 or 2 or 3, but we usually are looking for that 9-digit number. We ask for the annual sales, total annual exports. So again, that is exports outside of PEI. If you sold $400,000 worth of product in a year and 300,000 of that was sold to Nova Scotia, we consider that you have exported $300,000 worth of goods from PEI. We ask about the number of employees you have, number of part-time employees you have, and that's essentially it for page 1. Page 2, we ask about the different sector that you may be in. So in this case, this is a bioscience company. It is incorporated. It is registered to do business on PEI. The next question is, we ask for a detailed business description. So Muscle Extracts Inc. is a bioscience company located in Surrey. The company has been operating in PEI since 2006. Muscle Extracts Inc. manufactures health supplements from muscle meat. The supplements are sold all across Canada and the US. Usually it's a pretty short description. If you have more to add, then that'd be a great place to put it. But for this example, I just kind of want to go with a short description. We ask for the names of the shareholders as well as the percent ownership in the business. So in this case, Chris McDonald is the owner, and that person owns 100% of the company. Page 3. We ask for the key management personnel. Chris McDonald is the president of the company, and Bean Counter is the controller of the company. Project information. As you can see, we use this actual application for various programs. So the same application is used for the capital acquisition program, our enriched investment tax credit program, our equity investor incentive, our PEI labor rebate, our innovation fund, our marketing assistance program, our food product development assistance, rental incentive assistance, and finally our strategic improvement assistance program. So when you are clicking on whichever program you want to apply to, you click on the program that you are applying for. So in this case, strategic improvement assistance. Estimated number of new full-time jobs to be created. In this application, in this project, the answer is 0. There are no new jobs being created from this project. Estimated number of new part-time jobs to be created. Again, there are no new jobs being created from this application, so we put 0 in there. Project estimated start date. Very important for us to know when the project is occurring. It helps us, get this out on a timely basis and gives us an idea of how much time you're going to take to do the project. In this case, we're estimating that the project will start on July 8th, 2024 and end on December 31st, 2024. Describe the proposed project or activity. Muscle Extracts Inc. operates a supplement manufacturing business in PEI. In Surrey, sorry. The sector is highly regulated and requires much documentation in order to meet natural health product regulations within Health Canada. This project will engage Food Safety Co. to assess the company's current food safety system and recommend solutions to reduce excess documents and digitize the process. The project includes the digitization of quality control records and establishing a comprehensive database. The next question regards or relates to their current sales market. So currently, Muscle Extracts Inc. supplies supplements to the seafood drugs chain, which has 37 stores across Canada and the US. This project is necessary to establish database capability, allowing access to traceability information, which is required for regulatory compliance purposes. The location of the project is going to be in Surrey. The company currently operates out of a 7,000 square foot building with 3-phase power and an in-house quality control lab. This project will help the company comply with the new natural health products regulations. Digitizing this records management system will reduce labor costs and allow staff more time to put towards production activities. The next section is where we come up or list our numbers. So in this project, we're assuming that the cost of engaging that outside expertise is $60,000. So the total project cost is $60,000. If there's equipment involved, we could put that number in here. If there's some other technology costs or marketing costs, we have the various categories to put those costs in. In this case, the assistance being requested from the application, 40% of 60,000. Well, the maximum cost that we can cover is $50,000. So the maximum support under this program is $20,000. So the assistance being requested of Innovation PEI from this program is $20,000. And the client will be providing $40,000, the remaining money, in order to have the total project funded. The full $60,000 would be funded. It is important to remember that under this program, when we're doing an application, the application, once we receive the application and have reviewed it, if it is eligible for funding, we will send a letter of offer outlining the terms and conditions of the support. The letter of offer can then be reviewed by the client, and if in agreement, you can sign it and send it back to us. You would then complete the project. Once the project is done, you can then send us copies of the invoice, including proof of payment, and then we can reimburse up to, in this case, 40% up to $20,000. So the money is not advanced beforehand, but it is a reimbursement that comes after the project is complete. Some other documents that are to be included with the submission, financial statements are very helpful. We like to see those. We like to see how the business is doing. Business plan, if you have a business plan, then that is great. If it's a new company and you have a business plan, that's wonderful. We'll take a look at that. Maybe it's part of a business plan. Maybe it's the cash flow forecasts for this actual project. If you don't have anything like that, then that's fine. Typically in projects like this, we ask for the financial statements, and other would be a quote. We usually see a quote from the service provider outlining the activities that are going to be performed, as well as the cost of the total project. Other than that, that is essentially all we need with the application. If we review the project and decide that there is a couple of things that maybe are unclear, or we need a little bit more clarity on a couple of items, then we can contact you later on, either by email or by phone, and help get that additional information so that we can make a decision on your application. The last page of the application is where you actually accept our documentate or our declarations. I do want to point out that by signing the application, this question number or point number 3, it allows Innovation PEI, you are authorizing us to make any inquiries that we need to in order to make a decision on your application to other government departments or agencies. In a lot of cases, we work with other departments or other agencies, such as SACOA, Skills PEI, Finance PEI, and we work together. And there may be multiple funders on a project. This application allows us to talk to those agencies to help us all work together to support your project as best as we can. We would advise you if we are going to do that. So we typically would not do that without you being aware and in agreement, of course. So sign, date, and then you can send that in. So if you're going to send this PDF version, you would send you would email that application and the supporting documents to business@gov.pe.ca. And then we will get the application assigned to a business development officer and work on processing that as soon as we can. Other than that, I'm going to come back to the PowerPoint presentation. And I believe that is it for me, unless there are some questions.
Thanks so much, Preston. It's been pretty quiet in the chat. People are processing all the information.
Yes.
So I will just reiterate, we'll share this recording via email later on this afternoon. And we'll make sure that our contact info is on there. So if you do have questions, you can send them to us after the fact. So yeah, if there's no questions in the chat, I think we can kind of keep on rolling through the slides and
Okay.
finish up. Yeah.
All right. So stay up to date. Innovation PEI has a wonderful newsletter that you can subscribe to. We have a monthly newsletter that goes out with all new information or things to be aware of, or maybe some new programs or maybe some new events that are happening. Get that newsletter and get the information that's on its way. It's great to get. Other than that, that is it for me, and I'd like to thank everybody for coming today, and yeah, look forward to helping anybody that if they have any projects they would like to work with and for us to consider. Thank you very much.